Baybayin ng pangarap, bayaning walang hanggan, sa malayong lupain, may bukang liwayway. Welcome to the Overseas Podcast Worker.
Alright.
Hello. Welcome to episode
Number 1.
1.
Number 1. Okay. How was your day?
Okay lang. Medyo inaantok. So, nandun ako sa part. You know that I'm taking a course in digital marketing management. So far so good. But, yeah. I don't want to talk about it so much.
Busog na busog ako.
Ang dami natin kinain. Actually, inaantok ako. Yung weather na ganito, kasi nga winter na,
Oo nga.
parang kung hindi ka antok yan, magugutom ka. No?
Tataba ka lalo.
Mm-mm.
So, sa episode 1,
Mm-hmm.
syempre, ang una nating pag-uusapan ay ang
Sino ba tayo?
host.
Oo nga eh.
The
Ewan ko
story
ba?
of our lives.
Nagpa-influensya.
Bilang OFW. Bilang OPW.
Yeah. Overseas. We are overseas Filipino workers. And then, like, I don't know, when did you come up with the idea na gusto mong mag-podcast?
Hindi kasi nung in-interview ako sa podcast ng Buhangin Brothers, parang na-inspire ako.
Yeah.
So, I was like, it's
Mm-mm.
also, parang learning experience.
Oo. And besides, I think parang sa atin, parang it's something natural that we always talk with each other.
Talk.
So, parang nirecord lang natin. I think.
Yeah, tsaka we'd love to share our stories na naman and we'd like to know more other people's stories and learn from them as well.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Okay.
first of all,
We want to introduce ourselves.
yes,
But
beginning
part by
with you.
part. Yeah. So this episode is, oh my God, all about me.
Yes. This is all about Marta Jean Sanchez.
Full name talaga.
Hindi, sige.
Martha na lang.
Martha.
Yeah.
So, sino nga ba si Martha?
Yeah. So actually, so I'm originally from the Philippines. I was born and raised in the Philippines, in the city of Manila.
Manila.
Yep. Maynila. Tapos, so yung family ko, taga doon talaga. Pero yung parents ko, they were originally from the province. Like my mom is from Aklan, Cebu, and my dad is from Tarlac.
Nagbibisaya ka?
No, wala akong alam na wala akong alam na mga languages sa Pilipinas except for, syempre, Tagalog. Pero naririnig ko sila, syempre, pag meron kami mga bisita from province, naririnig ko sila magsalita.
Sila di Ilocano.
So, si Daddy Ilocano.
Si Mami Bisaya.
Si Mami Bisaya. So, ayun, I'm originally from Manila, tapos nag-aral ako sa exclusive school, and then nung college, nag-university ako. Tapos, ayun, I graduated with a degree in economics. And then, right after...
Sa may Espanyang eskwelahan.
Oo. And then, right after that, nag-work ako sa Makati. And then, back then, actually...
Wait. Yung nag-aral ka sa may eskwelahan mo, anong course mo?
Okay, so I actually started sa course ng Conservatory of Music.
What? Sample.
Hello. Ay, di ko rin sample kasi, di ba, ikaw rin Conservatory of
Ay,
Music.
guitarist ako eh.
Pero hindi, ano lang yun, mabilis lang yun eh. Kasi parang, actually, kaya ako nag-take ng Conservatory of Music. Si Mami kasi, mahilig sa mga plays. Yung nanonood ng play production, tapos sa school kung saan siya nagtuturo. So, parang siya yung mga nagdidirect sa mga estudyante niya. So, kaya ako nag-take ng Conservatory of Music. Pero sobrang hirap na kasi, di ba, 8 years siya pag Bachelor of Music.
8 years ba yun?
Yes.
Parang ka nag-doktor na pala, no?
Exactly. So, So, I realized hindi ko siya talaga kaya kasi hindi ako ganun kagaling, no? And then, I transferred to AB,
Pero same
Arts and
school.
Letters. Yeah, same school.
Mm.
And then, major na ako sa economics.
Mm.
Ayun, kaya ako nag-economics
Mm.
kasi I remember nung pa ako, parang general, pa lang yun general studies. Kapag pumasok kasi sa isang course na gusto mo within a specific college, like in my case, arts and letters, kailangan parang 2 years general ka lang sa mga general subjects. Tapos, naging, sino ba yung kapatid ba niya or brother-in-law ni GMA? Bumisita noon sa college namin.
Bayaw ni GMA.
Arroyo din yun eh.
Okay. Kala ko yung channel.
No. Pero ayun.
Bayaw yung channel.
Siguro parang ewan ko, siguro back then kasi parang
Na-inspire ka sa kanya.
na-inspire ako.
Mikey Arroyo.
Yun. At saka parang inspired ako sa how to invest in stocks. Tapos nagustuhan ko yung general subject namin about general topic about stocks. So I said why not? Tapos nag-economics ako. Grabe, ang hirap ng isang subject namin, econometrics yata yun. Buti na nakapasa.
Well, ibig sabihin, kaya mo pa rin. Mas kinahirapan ka, at least you push through. Natapos mo siya in 4 years.
Actually, I finished it for 3 years kasi merong mga subjects ako sa
Kasi
sa music na
carry over.
Yeah. And then ayun, tapos and then nag-work ako sa sa isang small company sa Makati. Getting investors to invest in that financial company. Tapos, merong minimum investment of $10,000. I think $10,000 back then to be able to get into the market. Pero kasi nga, sobrang competitive ng market noon. Especially for us na mga new hirees. Parang mahirap naman na makakuha ng investor to trust us na mga fresh graduates to invest that much. And ano ba, hindi mo naman kami experts back then. Ha?
Parang isipin ng mga investors, sino ka?
And are you an expert? Do you have, you might be having a degree.
Sinasabi niyo na ba na bagong graduate kayo? Or do you have to make an impression na you're experts?
No, sa itsura pa lang namin eh.
Talaga?
Kasi di ba, itsura naman natin, lalo na mga Asians, hindi naman tayo mukhang mga
So,
matured.
advantageous kung mukha kang matanda.
At saka siguro kung mukha kang hindi naman, as in, mukha ka talagang experience and expert.
Or experience. Okay.
So, ayun, even yung mga kasabayan ko nun, mga economics grad. Pero lahat kami, eventually, after 3 or 4 months, hindi talaga kami nagtagal doon kasi unang-una meron kang, you have a goal. And within 3 months, you have to be able to get an investor to invest $10,000. And when you don't reach that goal, kailangan,
may quota ka rin.
wala ka na.
Parang quota rin.
Yeah, exactly. And then, before ako mawala doon, yung office mate ko na ka-transfer sa mas better company, but hindi siya tungkol sa hindi siya sa stocks, pero more of about research. And then, luckily, nakapasok din ako dun sa company na yon. And then I worked there for about 3 years.
Pero, wait, itong, una mong work is 3 years?
No. Yung first is yung sa, financial company.
So,
diba?
gaano katagal yun?
3 months lang ako.
3
or
months
4
lang.
months. Kasi
Hindi
mayroong quota.
Hindi mo na, okay. And then yung next na yung
And then yung next, doon ako tumagal.
So, Makati din to?
Oo, Makati rin. So, I worked there for 3 years. Pero kasi nga, di ba, kailan ba yun? Early 2000, 2004, 3? So, hindi naman ganun kalaki yung mga swelduhan ng time na yun. And then, back then, although nag-work yung mom ko, pero it's not enough. So, tumutulong din ako financially sa family namin. And then, nag-aaral yung bunso namin kapatid. Ayun. So, tsaka parang feeling ko there's something for me out there. So, I tried my luck. my luck and I searched for a job abroad. So, kung yung ibang
Tinry mo yung
tao,
luck mo.
yung iba kasing tao,
Padlock. Ang foreign.
oo nga
Ah, sige,
pala.
sorry.
So anyway, yung iba kasing tao parang, ano ba tawag dito? Siguro nakakapunta abroad because they have relatives or families, let's say, especially sa US or Canada. Pero ako kasi, I didn't take that route. Although meron akong auntie sa US. Tapos, so I heard about this agency from another friend na nakatanggap through that agency. Tapos nag-work na siya sa Dubai for the automotive industry. Tapos ganun din yung tiniko na direction, na path. And then ayun, that was how I started my journey in Dubai.
So
2005 yun na.
Alright. So, work ka 3 years dun sa previous company mo, and then you decided, this is not for me, mag-abroad ako, puntang Dubai. Is that the only reason kaya gusto mong you were just not,
Oo, at saka syempre para to get a better salary.
okay.
Kasi nga, nung time na yun, parang, yun nga, hindi rin siya enough para dun sa expenses namin sa bahay. Although, like, may work yung mom ko. Pero yung dad ko kasi, eventually, nag-early retirement siya. Tapos, meron kasing time na hindi namin alam na nagkakasakit na siya. And then, that time, bulag na pala siya. Na,
may cataract.
may cataract pala siya. Pero kasi parang, if you're used to a routine, alam mo na yung daan, hindi alam mo kung saan ka tatawid. Pero nung time na yun, parang meron yatang ginawa na dun sa hole sa daanan sa kalsada. Tapos nahulog siya. So that's when we found out na
hindi na siya nakakita.
Oo. So parang medyo turning point yun. Pero hindi naman yun nangyari before ako umalis. Pero parang I knew na syempre matatanda na sila. Tapos, di ba, kailangan mag-step up. Ayun, so, pumunta ako. Actually, feeling ko parang lahat ng pumupunta, I don't know but majority dun sa mga kilala ko nag-Middle East is, they went to Middle East kasi nga malaki talaga yung sweldo. Wala kang tax kasi dun eh. Literal, kung kunyari ang sweldo mo, let's say for example, sa Philippine peso is 50,000. 50,000 talaga yung mga kuha mo. So,
ikaw ba yung first na nag-abroad sa family niyo?
Actually, sa side ng mommy ko,
ako yung
lahat.
Una. Akala ko sa family niyo lang.
Sa family namin, oo. Pero dun sa side ng mom ko,
ikaw talaga yung una.
Ako talaga yung una. Parang,
oh my
diba?
God.
Wala.
There's always
Yes.
someone who does it first.
Yes. Oo. Tapos,
Okay, going back dun sa agency, how was the process? Like, how did you found out about this agency through your friend? Tapos, nirecommend ka niya?
So, actually, yung agency, okay siya, in a sense na hindi ka nila papagbayarin ng placement fee. Ewan ko kung nangyayari yon sa iba, pero hindi ko siya ginawa or walang nangyari sa akin ganun. So parang kailangan ko lang gawin that time was bayaran syempre yung medical check-up. Of course, lahat ng documents na kailangan ipasa, definitely I have to pay for that.
Anong mga documents? Hindi mo naman, example lang, like anong naalala mo?
Example, syempre yung document mo na birth certificate.
Okay.
Tapos syempre yung mga, diploma, and so on and so forth. But yung most important is yung medical checkup. Ayun.
Pero do you still remember kung
no, wait,
how much?
Actually, I'm going there. So, nung time na yon, so yung process was, pupunta ka dun you will show up on the day of the interview. Pagkatapos, that day itself, or right after the interview, lahat ng mga in-interview for that day will have to wait for a couple of hours and then malalaman mo kung tanggap ka o hindi.
Marami na ka.
Oo, marami kami noon, puro mga babae yung pumunta eh. Kasi it's for a car rental company.
Mm.
sa Dubai. And then yung pumunta nung time ng interview was the general manager and the assistant general manager. So among all those women who attended the interview, 4 kaming natanggap.
That day.
That day, sinabihan kami. Tapos yung contract, parang we had to go back and then talk about the contract, what would they require from us. Pero mabilis lang siya.
Mm.
Tapos, siguro yung sweldo, kung yun yung dapat tatanungin mo, siguro back then, okay siya. Kung single ka, tapos wala kang responsibilities, feeling ko malaki na siya. Kasi, yung salary, yung benefits pati, kasi so you have a salary, tapos apart from the salary, libre yung accommodation, libre yung transportation.
Mm.
Of course, libre yung health insurance. Kasi hindi ka naman pwedeng pumunta doon at mavisahan nila kung wala silang ipoprovide sa'yo na health insurance. So, that is free.
Mm.
And then, yung siguro magiging gastos mo lang is yung food mo for the whole month, which is really, you know,
Ang
not
gusto ko itanong
expensive.
is yung, apart from that, yung ginastos mo lang sa agency. Hindi mo naalala?
Hindi ko na naalala. Siguro mga 10,000 pesos.
10,000 pesos
10
lang.
to 15,000 pesos.
What year was this? 2005?
2005. Early 2005. Tapos umalis na ako September.
Mm.
Tapos, so yung sa first company ko, nag-work ako doon for 3 years. Hindi masyado kasi maganda yung experience ko doon eh. Kasi yung mismong company and even yung mga colleagues ko were not as friendly. And then, ayun nga, parang hindi rin maganda yung, basta overall, hindi siya okay.
Ito yung company na nirecommend sa'yo ng agency
Yeah,
from the Philippines.
oo.
So, sila yung nag-interview sa'yo sa Philippines?
Exactly.
Okay.
The same. The same na pumunta dun sa interview, yung naging boss ko na nasa Dubai na ako.
Mm.
Akala ko nung una parang friendly siya, kasi parang, syempre may edad na siya, di ba?
Hold on. Yung, naalala mo gaano katagal yung right from that na day na okay, natanggap ka na, tapos kailan ka na lumipad papunta ng Dubai?
Matagal din. Kasi, siguro mga months, more than 6 months ako
6 months.
naghintay.
Okay.
Almost 7.
Okay.
Tapos, ang tagal-tagal niya, sobrang nagpa-pray ako doon, dapat makaalis na ako. Kasi nga, syempre, yung bills, nagpa-pile up na. Dahil wala akong work, syempre, hindi ako nakaka-contribute sa family ko. So, eventually, nung nakakuha ko ng visa ko, and then meron na akong flight, doon sobrang saya ko na. Tapos, nakakatawa kasi, syempre, nung time na yun, wala namang, ewan ko, like, sa experience ko nun, I know there was already internet. Kailan ba internet? 1992, di ba? Or 95?
Shit, ewan ko.
Yeah, between 92 and 95. Pero hindi siya, it's not as popular back then. Tapos, hindi pa Facebook noon, Friendster pa lang yata. So, parang, para lang makareceive ako ng message from my family. My God, kailangan makareceive ako from post. Talagang sobrang
Snail mail.
Yeah, yun yung sobrang, oh my God, napapagalata yung edad ko, no? So anyway, sobrang nakakalungkot yung mga times yun. Tapos, 3 years yun. Ang naalala ko kasi yung mismong accommodation namin, malayo siya from the city. So, para makapunta ka sa, let's say, sa magandang mall, or talagang sa city ng, maayos na city sa Dubai na, you know, where you have access to good malls, and restaurants, and, you know, yung mga fast food chains, kailangan talagang bumiyahe ka.
Taxi or may...
Ewan ko kasi nung time na yun, parang hindi kami nagpa-public transport kasi nga automotive.
may ano ka.
Industry. So parang meron kami driver
Okay.
na pwede naman kami ihatid sundo. Pero parang hindi, yung drivers kasi namin, hindi sila yung available for that purpose.
Okay.
Alam mo yun, parang available sila to pick us and drop us off to the branch where we were assigned. So, ayun, nung time namin, parang ang available, accessible lang dun sa kung saan yung accommodation namin, yung parang Arabic na grocery. So, talaga nakakalungkot siya. Ayun. And then, yung mga kasama ko noon, ng Filipinas. I don't know, siguro parang hindi na ako masyadong bet. Hindi rin kami masyadong naging
Hindi
friends.
kayo nagkasundo ng mga Pilipina doon? Yung mga kasama mo sa work?
Siguro out of 4, isa lang yung medyo nakasundo ko nun. Pero eventually, kasi nung ano sila kasi magala sila, ako kasi parang yung purpose ko naman to go there was to save and then send money to the Philippines. Kaya parang, syempre, ma-OP ako dahil hindi naman ako sumasama-sama sa kanila. Siguro they took it the wrong way. They probably thought na hindi ako friendly
Antisocial.
or antisocial, which sometimes I am until now. So, ayun. Hindi
So, hindi kayo
masyado.
nagkasundo. Sila,
Hindi magkasundo. Hindi lang kami yan like BFFs. Wala talaga ako masasabi na close friend ko na parang, kunyari, lungkot na lungkot ako or parang meron akong pinagdadaanan or something like that. Wala akong malapitan kasi nung time na yon naka-receive din ako ng letters from the Philippines na yung dad ko nag-stroke. Nagkaroon ng stroke. So parang imaginein mo yung pinagdadaanan ko na wala akong close friend. Tapos, hindi ka naman makakatawag although you can, like, from your mobile phone. Pero, alam mo naman, back
Magastos.
then, sobrang magastos. So, kailangan mo talaga mag-send ng letter and then wait for that letter, for a response through a letter. So, parang, wala talaga, feeling ko I was alone, na
Sila rin yung,
nakakalungkot yung 3 years na yun, to be honest.
yung mga kasama mong Pilipinos sa work, kasama mo rin ba sila sa bahay?
Exactly.
Talaga?
Sila din
So,
yung
kayo
So,
lang
parang, alam mo,
kakasawaan kayo sa mukha.
hindi na nakakasawa. Parang sa akin kasi, parang feeling ko, wala akong choice na kahit na hindi ko sila gustong kasama, ni minsan toxic na nga sila sa work. Hanggang sa bahay, andun pa rin yung feeling na you're in a toxic place kasi kasama mo sila sa bahay. So, parang sobrang na-stress talaga ako nung 3 years na yon na wala akong nakakasama, toxic yung mga kasama ko. Tapos, wala akong masyadong communication, hindi ganun kadaling communication sa family ko sa Pilipinas. Kaya, yeah, sobrang, oh my God, sobrang challenging years of my life. Kaya nung naalala ko nung first uwi ko sa Pilipinas, yung mommy ko, kasi yun talagang, feeling ko yun yung first time na talagang bumagsak yung katawan ko, talagang yung nagmukha akong halos mukhang skeleton, hindi ko naalagaan yung sarili ko, talagang yung, naiba rin yung skin ko noon kasi mainit sa Dubai. Yung mommy ko nung dumating ako ng Pilipinas, sabi niya, anak, ano nangyari sa'yo?
Construction worker ka ba? Ba't ka pinagsasabi?
Feeling ko construction worker ako noon
Wait. So, sabi mo 3 years ka doon. So, kailan yung unang uwi mo?
After 3 years.
After 3 years pa.
Oo, kasi parang, so nung time na yon, di ba, sinabi ko sa'yo yung package ko. So, yeah, may sweldo ko, ito yung benefits ko. Pero I felt that it was not enough. Especially yung nalaman ko na na-stroke yung dad ko. Tapos although meron ako mga kapatid, kasi di ba alam mo naman yung mga sweldo pag sa Pilipinas, lalo na pag sa gobyerno, tapos nag-aaral yung bunsong kapatid ko. So, parang, kailangan ko talaga mag-step up.
Okay.
So, sabi ko gano'n, hindi enough tong sweldo na to. So, nag-start ako maghanap ng work. Siguro on my second year. Tapos, kasi nga wala kaming access sa internet nun. So, ang ginagawa ko, parang magfa-fax talaga ako. Ginagamit ko yung fax machine.
Fax
Dun
machine?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, diba? Parang, hello?
Gen Z, they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know about that.
Fax machine.
Pero alam mo ba, nung time na yun sa Dubai, actually, parang ang popular way of finding or looking for a job is to actually go on every building and then submit your CV on every company in that building.
Talagang
Yun talaga yung
walk-in.
tradition. Yes, exactly. So, hindi ko nagawa yun kasi nga may work ako. So, ano pa yung pwede kong maging medium is the fax machine. So, send ng fax. And then, I was lucky na meron akong na-receive na interview. Tapos, the same industry rin sa automotive. Kaya ako nakaalis dun sa first. So, nung natapos ko yung contract ko sa kanila, tsaka ako nag-join sa new company. And then I have to go back.
So, itong new company na to ay nakatanggap sa isa sa mga finax mo?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Galing, no?
Galing.
Yeah, I know.
Di ba yung maingay pa? Yung pag may dumadating na
Oo,
ano.
tapos naalala ko kasi,
So,
so
di ba,
parang on a daily basis, nagsasend ako ng CV ko sa mga companies. Pagkatapos, I think, kasi nga 'di ba nasa branch ako, syempre yung mga purchase order from uh, um, for a request or an order for a car rental, nare-receive namin yun by fax or
Ah.
someone or the clients actually call us. Tapos napansin nila nung mga tao sa main office, kasi nasa branch ako noon na sobrang busy daw ng fax machine namin and then yung clients namin sa branch na yun, hindi raw makasend ng purchase order. Ayun, tas nahuli ako. Ayun. Eh,
baka
sinabi din,
instead na purchase order, lumalabas resume.
resume, yun na nga eh. Kaya parang, anong ba tawag doon? Nalaman nung boss ko yun, kinausap nila ako. And then I told him the truth na naghanap talaga ako ng work.
Hmm.
Ayun.
Okay.
And then so after when I got back to the Philippines,
So, ito yung una mong uwi.
una kong uwi tapos nakausap ko yung mga siblings ko. Sabi ko siguro gusto niyo sumunod, sumama sa akin sa Dubai. Yung na-convince ko yung ate ko. Yung ate ko back then nag-aaral siya ng
Mm.
law. Tapos nag-work siya sa government company. So parang, yung kasi, yung older brother ko, hindi niya kayang mag-abroad.
Mm.
So parang yung choice para sa ate ko was, hindi na siya magte-take, hindi niya natatapusin syempre yung law niya. Tapos, I mean yung possibility na maging regular dun sa government, sa government agency. So parang yun yung parang decision na it was a hard decision for her. Pero kasi hindi talaga na sweldo nung time na yun. So ayun, na-convince ko siya. And then sumunod siya sa Dubai, nakahanap siya ng work. Pagkatapos nung nandun na ako sa second work ko, yun yung umuwi ako 'di ba sa Pinas tapos and then we got
In touch.
in touch. And then ayun,
And then. Hindi, siguro, let's skip that part muna. Tapos, pag, I'll tell that story on my part side. But, siguro what you can tell us more about is yung experience mo dun sa pagkalipat mo.
Dun sa second company na. Actually, yung second company ko, yun yung parang pinaka okay. Kasi nga, although hindi free yung accommodation, free pa rin yung transportation. So, I got more freedom as to where I want to live, who I want to live with. I mean, live with meaning pwede kong makashare sa room. Kasi sa Dubai noon, usong-uso yung mga bed space. So, I remember, nung dun ako second company, nakahanap ako ng bed space, 4 kaming mga babae doon sa room. So, ayun, okay naman siya. Pagkatapos, maganda yung perks nun kasi parang meron akong commission and then meron akong bonus. Tapos, kasi di ba sa Dubai may Ramadan tsaka Eid. Yun yung parang Christmas season nila.
Parang 13th month.
Christmas, yeah. So, parang after the Ramadan, meron silang Eid celebration. Tapos, lahat na ako ng bonus after Eid. So, yun yung masaya nun. And then yun.
Anong taon to? Naalala mo?
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
At this time, ano ba? Hindi na siya accommodation ng company. Ikaw na yung naghahanap ng...
Ako na. So, pag nangyari, hindi ko na-feel yung sa bed space ko, pwede akong lumipat. I think nakalipat ako ng mga 2 beses until nahanap ko yung bed space. Talagang tumagal ako for a couple of years. Tapos iba naalala mo, namit mo pa yung mga yun. Nung sumunod ka na sa Dubai. And then, yun yung second job ko. And then, I joined another company. The same industry rin. So, I think yun yung pinaka last part nung career ko sa automotive. Kasi, di ba nag-join ako sa insurance? Yung insurance talaga yung parang majority ng career ko sa Dubai. Pero ano na tayo nun eh?
Couple na tayo. Pero yung second company mo, can you tell us where is that exactly in Dubai before you, ano, lumipat
Saan
sa
ba siya sa ano? Bakit? Mga Bordo ba yata siya?
Bordo Dubai? Okay.
Or bar siya? Parang hindi papunta siyang Jumeirah eh.
Jumeirah.
Bordo by going to Jumeirah.
Yung area na yun. Yung along the
Yeah.
coastline.
Yeah.
Rashidiyah? Ay, hindi.
No, hindi siya Rashidiyah. Basta doon. Huwag na natin sabihin yung pangalan.
Basta dun sa lugar na yun. Anyway, so, lumipat ka na sa insurance company. How did you find out about, how did you end up in an insurance company?
Oo nga eh. Actually, yun yung, I also didn't expect that I will be in that industry. Although, finance pa rin naman siya kasi diba economics ako. So, yung, industry ko is, ang insurance is, related to finance. So, I think kaya ako nakuha yung trabaho na yun. Siya, underwriting assistant for marine insurance. And, yun yung nagustuhan ko. Of all my work experiences, siya talaga yung parang nag-resonate sa akin. Talagang tumagal ako doon sa industry niya. Hindi pa naalala mo, like, I took some certifications kasi talagang I really like the industry. I was passionate about it. And nakalipat ako sa isang much bigger company from where I used to work. Sa financial center ko nag-work.
BIFC.
Ayun.
Social dun eh.
Oo, okay naman siya. Masyadong social yung mga tao.
BIFC.
Masyado hindi lang social pero more of corporate kasi siya eh.
Corporate talaga.
Oo.
Saka mga ano na dun eh. Ang tatas ng mga heels ng mga babae.
Oo nga, masyadong corporate yung dating and all. Correct. Ayun.
How long did you end up working in that field?
I think 5 years.
5 years?
Oo. Pero would have been longer kasi, but we had to go to Germany.
Okay.
So that was it, up until April 2016, nandun ako sa industry na yon. Then, I remember, resign ako, yung last month ko was April. And then, nakala ko June, makakasunod ako sa, diba? Sa Germany.
Okay, but...
Nung lumipat ka.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oo.
Can you tell us, before you jump into to your experience in Germany, in your work as an insurance, how do you call it? Underwriting assistant.
Or underwriting generalist.
Sa 5 years na yun, can you share any experience? I'm sure within that span of time, there would be, you've met a couple of people. What type of expertise have you become better at? Can you share something about that?
Actually, siguro yung pinaka naging focus nung expertise ko sa general insurance. Kasi when you talk about insurance, there are many types. Meron kang life insurance, health insurance, yun yung tinatawag na non-general.
So ngayon sa Pilipinas.
Pero dun ako sa general insurance. Especially
pang mga general lang.
Pang mga general lang.
Corny.
Correct, pang mga general lang.
Pang mga general. Okay.
Parang yung sanga ng general insurance, marami yung sanga. Meron yung marine, meron siyang property, meron siyang, car insurance, then you have engineering insurance, marami siyang sanga. Pero yung talagang expertise ko was marine. So, think about, let's say, yung mayors, yung cargo nila, kailangan nilang so, doon ako sa
Okay. Okay, interesting. And you were
And
very...
then, yeah, actually, because I liked it so much, I remember, kumuha ko ng certification that is called Chartered Insurance Institute. So, you can only get that from London. I didn't fly to London to get that certificate. You have to take the test para magkaroon ka ng certificate. So, online lang naman. Online yung application, pero yung exam, meron sa Dubai. And then, ayun, so I took that. Tapos, ito yung pinaka-nakakatawa kasi, di ba, parang, nag-resign ako ng April 2016, so dapat susunod na ako sa'yo. Pero hindi ako nakasunod sa'yo kagad because of a requirement na that was missing on the day of my appointment. Naalala ko, parang, okay, fine, parang gusto kong bumalik ng work. And then, nag-try lang ako, parang meron sa akin kasing nag-reach out sa LinkedIn, nag-apply ako. Naalala mo, natanggap ako nun. So, parang, nung time na yun, sabi ko sa pag pumunta ako ng Germany, wala akong trabaho. Talagang, hindi ko alam kung makakabalik ako sa insurance. Tapos ito, nandito na sa harap ko, meron akong offer sa another company.
So it's a very...
It's better position. Much better position, much better salary,
So that was a really tough pill to swallow, to let go all of that.
Oo.
Just to join your partner in Germany.
Oo nga eh. Worth it. Joke.
I'm sure this partner of yours was very worth it.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Okay. So, can you tell us more on yung journey mo to
So, I think yung
moving...
transferring to, yeah.
Yeah. Paglipat...
Kasi parang, our journeys were different. Kasi ikaw, pumunta ka ng Germany, you have a job waiting for you, everything is set up, tapos, all you just have to do is show up. Diba? Sa akin kasi...
Hindi, mag-base muna ako tapos.
Oo naman, of course. Maligo ka naman, diba? Tapos toothbrush.
Okay, sige.
Tapos, yung sa akin kasi, dahil sanay ako, like sa Dubai, pagdating ko, may trabaho na rin ako, diba? Tapos, sanay ako na mayroon akong sariling sinusweldo. I have my own money, I can spend it on whatever I want, di mo na ako nagsisplurge, but what I'm saying is, I have my own money to spend. Pero nung pumunta na ako ng Germany, talagang totally iba na yung case. Tapos, kailangan mag-aral ng German. Kasi walang nag-English. Meron man, pero hindi siya, ang requirement is for you to speak in German. Especially sa industry ko, which is insurance. Kasi, not only do you need to speak German, you also need to know the kind of insurances Germany has, what are the laws, regulations, and stuff like that. So, parang sobrang challenging. So, yun yung naalala mo, nagkaroon ako ng depression noon. Na hindi naman natin alam yung mental health back then eh. Kasi parang most Filipinos, siguro that time, were not really mindful about their mental health.
What year was this? Anong taon to?
That was 2016.
2016.
I'm sure some are already struggling. They know how to deal with it. They're probably getting therapy, like psychological therapy. Pero sa atin, lalo na sa Dubai, o lalo na siguro sa mga Pilipino back then, parang isipin mo parang nababaliw ka lang or something. Or you need to pray. Yeah, I know, I pray. Pero parang hindi. It's a different struggle. Sobrang different struggle. So, na yun yung time na naalala mo nung nag-pass away si dad. Doon ko na-realize na meron talaga akong mental health issue.
Depression.
Oo. Tapos, before no, naalala mo yung uuwi ako sa Pilipinas, dapat. Tapos nag-cause talaga ako ng delay sa flights. Kasi, nung nandun ako sa aeroplano, di ba? Nagkaroon ako ng panic attack. Akala ko nung nandun ako sa loob ng aeroplano, buti hindi pa siya nag-take off. So, pagpasok ko sa aeroplano, umupo ako sa upuan ko, nainitan ako. Sabi ko, wala pang aircon, katabi ko, may kinausap ko yung katabi ko, sila mag-ina na Asian. Tapos, just wait for it kasi nagsastart pa lang buksan yung makina ng sabi sa akin. Tapos, tinapat ko na yung AC sa akin, hindi ako makahinga. Sabi ko, siguro nagugutom ako. So, sabi ko, and then, naalala mo, nag-vegan tayo for a couple of months. Yun pa yung time na yun. Tapos sabi ko dun sa stewardess, baka meron ko yung juice or a biscuit or something, binigyan ako. Pero wala pa rin siyang dating. So, ang nangyari eventually, hindi na ako makahinga. Tapos yung mga tao sa loob ng eroplano, lalo yung katabi ko, nakatingin sa akin. Kasi, magano na ako. I can't breathe.
Mm.
Sumapit na sa akin yung, yung stewardess. Nagpadala sila ng medics. And then, what was surprising about that, normal yung, yung, what do you call this? Yung chineka ko. Normal eh. Tapos sabi sa akin nung, um, yun nga, nung nag-check sa akin, parang, everything is normal with you. You are actually fit to fly. The question is, do you want to fly? Do you want to take this flight? Tapos sabi ko, yun yung time na sabi ko, oh my God, ang haba ng biyahe, parang 18 to 21 hours. So, Turkish Airlines yun, diba? So, 3 hours to Turkey. Tapos, merong waiting time from Turkey to the Philippines, 13 hours. So, sabi kong ganun, 3 hours siguro kakayanin ko. Pero what if, in between that flight from Turkey to the Philippines, ganito yung maramdaman ko, baka atakihin ako sa puso. So, I decided, hindi ako tutuloy. Tapos, iba tinawagan kita nun.
Mm.
So, ayun, parang, sabi ko, bakit kaya nangyari sa akin yun? Tapos, di ako pumunta pa tayo sa emergency. Binigyan ako ng pill. Tapos,
So wait, nasaan na yung eroplano nito?
umalis na. Nagpaiwan ako eh. Tapos, sinundo
wait,
ako.
pinababa ka sa eroplano?
Yeah, meron talaga medics.
Oh my
Tapos,
God.
ina-offeran pa ako na you can sit on our business class. Pero sabi ko, oy, okay yan ah. Okay na offer yun. Kaya lang, paano yung pupunta to the Philippines na
From Istanbul to...
from Germany to Istanbul, business.
Okay.
Pero kasi pag business ka, ang ganda ng business class nila eh. Talaga mag-isa ka lang, ang laki ng space mo. Pero paano from
Istanbul to
Oo.
Manila.
Tapos, 'di ba, medyo hindi nga ako makahinga nun eh. Pero anyway, so yun yung parang yung pivotal for me kasi sabi kong ganun, first time in my life na na-experience ko yun. Hindi ko na-experience sa buong buhay ko. Siguro kailangan na nga talaga magpa-check up.
Magpa-approach sa professional.
So, nag-therapy ako for a couple of years. Tapos, sobrang, wow, best
Decision.
thing I've done for myself is to, yun nga, tackle yung mental health issue. Kasi naalala mo, meron na time na, even dun sa mga subways, di ba sa metro, hindi ako makahinga sa loob kasi nga, nauuna yung anxiety ko dahil claustrophobic ako. Tapos whenever meron tayong lakad, nauuna yung anxiety ko na parang ayoko makapag-meet. Yung gano'n na feeling na parang recurring siya na hindi siya talaga healthy, na parang feeling ko, hindi lang yung mental health ko yung naapektuhan, pero yung mismong, yung talagang total health ko kasi, alam mo yun, paano kung di talaga ako nakakahinga? Diba? Anyway, ayun. Tsaka minsan parang feeling ko, naku, baka may cancer ako, yung ganun.
Oh my God,
Yun, sobrang ibang level yun. So, ayun. And then after 3 years, but during that time, while that was happening, nagtitake ako ng German classes ko, parang, oh my God, lahat parang ang dami nangyayari. Then I got a job in 2019. Yeah, as a researcher. So, siguro, gusto kong i-discuss kung yung type of parang working environment that Germany has compared to what I was used to.
This is your first job, right?
That was my first job.
In Germany?
In Germany. Tapos as a researcher. So, hindi naman sobrang bigat ng work, pero kasi nga researcher kagad. And then yung mga kasabay ko nun, some of them were having PhDs and masters. So,
Wow.
talagang, kaya kailangan you have to step up your game. And, anong bang tawag dito? Iba yung working environment kasi ang working environment sa Germany is, pag nag-work ka talaga. Syempre, di ba sa Dubai, yung ibang mong ka-work, mga Pinoy. So, minsan may time lang nakikipag-chismisan ka.
Mm.
So, ayun, parang you have to be more professional pagdating sa trabaho.
Bawal ang
Tapos,
petics.
bawal ang petics. Hindi, okay lang din naman siguro na, syempre, you have your boss.
Mm.
Like, tawag dito, may tag-spouse, diba? Or
Lunch
yung
break.
mga tipong snack time, ganun. Or coffee time. Pero parang, if they know that, if you're not working, they will know dun sa, ano mo sa type of work that you actually produce.
Produce.
Kasi, that time, then, nag-research ako, I also have to write.
Mm.
So, minsan, mali-mali yung grammar ko, ganun. Pero, buti na lang, hindi siya in German. In English siya. So, ayun, and then, yun pa, I thought yung mga naka-work ko sa Dubai was very blunt. Pero, dito kasi, yung pagiging blunt nila is hindi blunt na parang, I don't know, yung nasanay kasi ako sa Dubai na if they are blunt, they know how to say sorry afterwards kasi become friends.
Mm.
Pero kasi nung sa work ko before, they are so straightforward na tingin ko yung mismong tao na who was straightforward with me, he thought that that was okay. Na parang,
Ano ba yung specifics nun? Ano bang sinabi niya sa'yo?
you could do better.
Ganun.
Ganon. Oh, that's wrong. Okay lang yung wrong pero parang, yung parang hindi ka mamomotivate. Na parang, you could do better, but you're almost there. Meron ganung tone and you're good at this. Pero ito, parang, sinasabi niyan sa'yo,
9!
yeah, 9, parang ganon. Or maybe, hindi, siya lang yung ganon.
Okay.
I don't know. Kasi dun sa second work ko naman, meron ding mga unprofessional, meron ding mga ganong tao. Pero, parang feeling ko kasi, ang mga tao dito is, siguro ang trick na lang is, huwag ka masyadong sensitive. Because, they are there actually to help you. And, give you what you need so that you can actually become better at your job.
Siguro this also, just to elaborate on that and for our listeners, because it's a German attitude, but it's the German environment,
working environment.
So, not necessarily na.
Sanay kasi sila with, actually, sanay sila with collaboration. Sanay sila na there's always like two sides. And it's okay. Kasi diba, kaya nga, they have this thing called freedom of speech. You could tell whatever you want, and then you could also agree not to agree, but you actually meet in the middle and have a compromise. So, parang feeling ko ganun yung palaging pattern sa work kasi hindi ka naman po pwedeng pareho kayo ng ideas all the time
And this is a very international working environment. Not necessarily na Germans lang to, di ba? Parang
yeah, exactly. And parang feeling mo palagi kang nag-thesis ka kasi parang you have to convince the other person that you have a point. What you're actually saying has a point and your idea is good so we could actually, agree with your idea. So that's what I learned. And if you are, kunyari, meron criticism sa'yo, it could also be a constructive criticism. So, kailangan hindi ka masyadong,
balat sibuyas.
Yeah. Oo. Otherwise, parang iyak ka na lang iyak. Okay nga yun kasi that makes you better.
I know.
Diba? Actually, mas gusto ko yun. Kaysa naman yung tipong, ang bait-bait siya sa harap, pero sa likod, actually, hindi siya magaling magtrabaho. Parang
sa Pilipinas, na-experience.
Gusto ko yung sabihin mo sa akin, and then, okay, fine. Ito yung mali ko. And then, I do something about it. The next time, nawala yan, and then you tell me, may mali ako ulit, oh, we've already talked about it. You said this is the way of doing this type of thing. Tapos, now you're telling me that, then the problem is not with me. Alam mo yun? Or probably, meron ka pang gustong i-improve sa ginagawa ko. So, I think, for me, okay yun. At saka lalo ngayon parang, napansin ko kasi, pag nasa Germany ka, you need to have a progressive mind. So, having a progressive mind means, hindi ka palaging tama. You always have to listen to the other person. And yun nga, and you don't always have to agree with your
Mm.
ideas, with each other's ideas, pero you meet in the middle. Tapos, kailangan mo talagang you have to up, update your skills. Kailangan palagi kang, I don't know, dito kasi parang natutunan ko na palagi ka dapat nag-aaral. And then, kailangan you're updated with especially yung mga current events and you know what's
I
happening
think
around the world.
especially with your field at saka
Anong
yung
field ko, especially nandun ako sa sa research.
So, how long did you work for this company as a researcher?
So, mga 3 years din halos.
3 years. Okay.
Tapos, I moved into another industry, totally different from my field. Nag-ano ko, advertising na, di ba? Yeah. Okay siya. Kasi parang, parang yung mga businesses are moving to,
When was this?
I think that was a year ago. Or 1.5 years ago.
Pandemic na.
Hindi, after na ng pandemic.
After ng pandemic.
2022.
Mhm.
Ayun. So, yun nga, nakakatuwa kasi na-challenge na naman ako nun kasi iba na naman siyang industry. So, parang feeling ko yung experience ko sa Germany, although marami siyang challenges, ang dami ko talagang natutunan. Tapos parang it made me a better person and well-informed person. Diba? Much more matured.
Wow. So, ang galing ng journey mo, no? From car rental.
From ano muna? Sa Pilipinas
So,
kasi
yeah. Yung
research ako pero ano yun, parang so-so lang yun eh.
finance, research,
Finance, research, tapos
car rental.
biglang automotive o rental. And then, jump to insurance. Pagkatapos, research na may writing naman. Tapos, biglang, what? Napunta sa advertising. In fact, ngayon, yung course ko is related to that. Marketing
course.
management.
Can you elaborate on that? But may course. Anong course?
Okay, so, kasi meron tayong tinatawag na unemployment insurance dito sa Germany. So, I lost my job early this year. And because I've worked for 3 years, so I am entitled to get a claim of that unemployment insurance where I can get an income from the government every month. Pero 65% lang naman may tax din. Tapos, tutulungan pa nila they will also finance yung course that would help me find a better job. So, in my case, actually, nag-take ako ng higher German language course. Tapos, ngayon naman yung marketing.
Okay, so elaborate ko lang. Kasi bilang taxpayer sa Germany, entitled ka na kapag nawalan ka ng trabaho, babayaran ka ng gobyerno.
Oo, babayaran ka ng gobyerno, but because meron kang premium na binabayaran doon sa unemployment insurance, which is automatically deductible sa salary mo when you were working.
No, I'm trying to explain it in layman's terms.
Okay,
para sa
okay. Yeah.
So, kapag nawalan ka ng trabaho dahil nagbabayad ka ng insurance mo, pwede kang bigyan ng pera ng gobyerno, pero hindi kasing laki nung sinusweldo mo before, mas maliit.
No.
Bukod doon, bibigyan ka nila ng opportunity na makapag-aral. Tama ba?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, kailangan talaga nila yun i-provide. Kasi nga, parang, let's say, kung expat ka, and hindi ka naman native German, kahit na magtrabaho ka sa coffee shop, or maglilinis ka, or kahit na anong kasimple lang ng trabaho, hindi ko sinasabi na simple yan, pero yung sa tingin mo na hindi mo kailangan talagang mag-effort, kailangan mo pa rin mag-German eh. So, bibigyan ka nila ng free German language course. Which is yung tinake ko siya for, yung intensive ko yung last time was 6 months, diba?
Okay. So, nagde-German classes ka, at saka, meron ka sinabi kanina yung marketing.
O, natapos na kasi yung German class ko, so nag-marketing na ako. So, sabi nila, sige, mag-aral ka ulit. Mag-aral ka lang
Ah,
na mag-aral.
okay.
Hmm.
Kaya siguro din, nabanggit mo kanina na parang marami kang natutunan kasi merong mga
Oo, and
opportunities na ganyan.
yeah, and also, hindi lang yun kasi parang, like, you know this already,
Mm.
I have my permanent residency in Germany. So, parang dati, actually, hindi talaga ako fan ng history.
Mm.
Parang yan yung mga subjects na hindi ko gusto nung nag-aaral ako sa Pilipinas. Pero nung dumating ako dito, kasi for you to be able to get a permanent residency card,
Mm.
you need to take 2 types of tests, which is yung language proficiency, based on a B1 level, and then yung politics. Politics,
Einbürgerung.
history,
May
oo.
tawag doon?
Oo.
Ah,
Einbürgerungstest.
okay.
So, naalala ko nung nagre-review ako nun, sobrang passionate ko dun sa topic na yun.
Naalala ko yung nakikita ko nag-aaral ka, bigla ka naiyak.
Oo, naiyak ako kasi.
Kasi nabasa mo si Anne Frank ba yun?
Oo, parang yun yung time na hindi lang si Anne Frank, pero yung mga parang popular uh, uh, na
World War II stories.
World War II stories na hindi, feeling ko wala pang movie eh. Meron doon yung um, a group of students in Munich na they were spreading propaganda against Hitler or the
Mm.
Nazis. Parang wala pa naman yata ng ganong movie. So, parang ang dami kong nababasa na gano'n dun sa libro habang nag-aaral.
I think
So,
meron ng
parang,
movie
and in German siya, by the way. So,
Ah,
parang, oo,
mm.
ang hirap lang niya. Pero okay lang.
Hindi, to be fair, regardless kung anong language sa tingin ko, kung nasa ganitong edad ka na mahirap talagang matuto eh.
Mm-mm.
Pero
Yeah.
props to you kasi in my opinion, napakagaling mo na mag-German.
Hindi, okay lang.
Well, compared to sa akin.
Eh, kasi mas marami akong time. I don't know.
Mm.
Tsaka free kasi yun. Actually,
Mm.
free din pala yung sa'yo, no? Hindi mo lang kinukuha.
So, okay, that's a very interesting journey.
Mm-mm. Do you have any
Very
questions?
interesting. Well,
More-
yes, actually. Pero hindi na to related dun sa journey mo.
Mm-mm.
Ang question na to is more on what happens next. Like, do you see yourself settling here in Germany?
Mm-mm.
Or at some point in time, gusto mo nang bumalik sa Pilipinas?
Actually, good question yan. Kasi parang, naalala mo nung first uwi natin sa Pilipinas, mula nung dumating tayo ng Germany. Ang tagal
Mm.
natin, hindi pa nakauwi ng Pilipinas. That was just recently, early
Mm.
this year. Parang, doon pa natin na-realize na there's really no place like home.
New place like her.
I mean, okay, fine. Actually, maganda sa Germany in
Mhm.
terms of, alam mo yung, if you're a citizen of Germany, you have so many benefits, to be honest. Tapos yung health insurance nila, wala kang babayaran pag pumunta ka ng magpapakonsult ka or whatever. Parang meron ka lang deductible na 5 euros
Mhm.
sa medicine mo. Eh, paano kung yung medicine mo sobrang dami at sangkatutak fixed? That's 5 euros. Alam mo yun, iba pa rin eh.
Yung sa Pilipinas,
Iba pa
home
rin.
bahay.
Iba talaga. Like, hindi ko ma-explainan. Pero, parang alam mo na yung puso mo nandun talaga eh.
Mm.
So, since wala rin naman tayong anak, so, I think okay lang na
Sa
sa
Pilipinas,
Pilipinas talaga mag-settle. And imagine, parang yung makukuha mo rin naman dito na pension is a lot
Sabagay.
bigger pag nasa Pilipinas ka,
That's
diba?
true.
Mhm.
So, ang answer mo is gusto mo yung healthcare dito pero everything else Pilipinas na.
Oo, kasi or pwede naman kasi like, meron akong kilala. Ang ginagawa niya, retired na yun si Ate Mila, naalala mo sa church. Siya, parang every 6 months siya, nagta-travel Pinas, Germany.
Ay,
Pinas,
yun.
Germany. Yun ang maganda. Diba? Nice.
Yeah, so. Okay. Last question.
Okay.
Anong top 3 na ilalagay mo sa balikbayan box?
Siguro so contrary to siguro isipin ng iba, kasi Germany is known for its beers. Hindi ko papadala beer.
Hindi.
Oo. Pero
Okay.
wine siguro. Kasi pag beer, dahil parang kanya bumili ka nagpadala ka ng beer, kailangan marami. So, hindi po pwedeng isa lang.
Mm.
Unlike pag wine, po pwede kang wine, tapos for one occasion, lahat pwede mag-share. So,
Okay. So, wine.
wine. Pangalawa yung chocolates. Kasi marami ditong chocolates na sobrang mura, tapos sobrang kalasa na yung mga tipong Lind ng Switzerland, yung masasarap. Tsaka yung Ferrero, di ba dito mura lang? Yun,
So,
chocolates.
napaka-typical yan OFW chocolate.
Oo.
So, Ferrero, specifically Ferrero?
Yeah, maybe. Or
Or Rittersport?
Rittersport. Tsaka yung mga mura sa Aldi. Sa kalasa nila.
Okay.
Kalasa ng Milka.
Okay, so, wine, chocolate, last.
Ano ba yung last ko? Hindi pwede kasing sausage Dahil,
Pwede.
Pwede ba?
Yung nasa lata, hindi yung
yun siguro.
sausage.
I think pwede rin kahit na yung sausage na, kasi
Hindi kasi
13
pwede
hours.
naman talaga, kaya lang yung
Hindi mo pwede, kasi balikbayan. Sa flight po
sa flight pwede yung sa
Oh my
balikbayan box
Oo.
kasi yung sausage 1 month magta-travel halos.
Oo. So, yeah. Yan. Sausage
Dilatang
na sa
sausage.
dilata.
So, top 3 na bagay na ilalagay sa balikbayan box ay wine, chocolate, dilatang sausage.
Correct.
Wow! I think that's it.
Oh, ang bilis. Ang dami ko naman nasabi.
Oh. So, thank you mga ka-OP.
Thank you for listening to me, to my story. And I hope you learned a thing or two.
Okay.
And especially dun sa mga those people that are planning to go to Germany. Siguro magbibigay
Dubai
na ako
din.
Okay, yeah. Dubai and Germany. Pero yung tips are, dapat, mag-take kayo ng maraming skills, take courses.
Learn
And
German.
Sa Dubai is, of course, syempre, mag-take kayo ng mga skills that are required for the job you want to apply for. Sa Germany, you have to learn German.
Okay.
Walang easy route. Mag-take kayo at least until B1 level. Pero kung nurse kayo, alam ko B2. So kasi yung level ko is B2. Pero hindi ako nurse. I just had to take that level. And what else? Have a progressive mind. Na parang magiging balat sibuyas. Ano ba? And be adaptable.
Okay.
Adaptable and resilient.
Very good. Those are very sound advice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye!